Hey guys, my name is Sebastian and I go under the artist name FURRER. And I just released a new single called Every Atom is Buzzing. And I would like to show you today how I made the song in FL Studio. Break it down, show you a little bit of like the parts and yeah. So let's get into it. Let's start with the arpeggio, which is the main thing in the whole song. Yeah, let's play it through. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just like a continuous arpeggio going throughout the whole song. I just really enjoyed that arpeggio melody and just didn't see any other way of doing it really. The sound was actually, like, a lot of people actually think it's analog, which it's not. It's made in a synthesizer in a VST called Strobe 2. So as you can see here, this is Strobe 2. It's one of my favorite synthesizers in the computer, at least. I usually use my Prophet 6 or my Juno 106 and also OP1 and Korg MS-20, but in this case I just made this sound on the go and just enjoyed it so much I didn't want to really replace it. A thing I really like with the Strobe 2 is that it has this fine thing, which is like modulating, so it's going back and forth, which makes it sound a little bit more analog and unpredictable. So that's why I use this one. So let's see here. I used the Fruity Balance for sidechaining in this song, as you can see here. In this song, I usually use compressors for sidechaining, but in this case, I just liked to shape it myself. I think I wanted like a very small sidechaining and not really that aggressive, so I just choose this one. In this case, it's quite nice to use sometimes. Yeah, so let's move forward. Then we have some swell effects here that comes in here. So basically, I think I just bounced the arpeggio going up here and put effects on. So I used this tremulator here. Going up there, and I think I used like some reverb, maybe Fruity Reverb or something like that, and just basically bounced it and then put the tremulator on after, just to get some swell effect. So together it sounds like this. It just gives this like effect sort of feeling to it, which is really nice. Then we can go to here. This is the pads that I'm using in this song. Yeah, and actually there's a funny story around this sound, because I was in Gothenburg walking around in the town and found this market where they basically had all kinds of stuff like books, clothes, instruments, and all kinds of stuff. But I saw this violin, and there was this lady who sold it and told me that her grandma had it or something like that since way back. And I was just really intrigued by it and wanted to try it. And I think it was like around $50 or something like that. So I decided to buy it. And since I can't play the violin, I just recorded this one note into my OP1, which is a sampler, synthesizer, drum machine. It's one of my favorite tools ever. I just love it. And when I got it recorded into the OP1, I just put some reverb on it and looped it and then recorded it into FL so I could use it in the Fruity sampler. And I looped it there also and made the sound out of it. And let me take off the effects here. Sounds like this. I think this is with shimmer also beforehand, so I bounced it again. Or I had some reverb effect in the OP1, but so it's became this like string sound. So then I put on more shimmer, EQ and spreading and yeah, stuff like that, and it sounds like this. And then we have this is a Jupiter 8 emulation, and I put this in the end of the song just to get some more energy. That's basically it. It's nothing special, just a sawtooth pad sort of thing. Let's see, let's move on. We have a piano here. I think the piano just has some virtual channel from Slate Digital, like some EQ, reverb, nothing too fancy. Yeah, what else? Yeah, we have some vinyl noise here, just to give some atmosphere, I guess. But this is actually my favorite thing in the whole song. So I made the song one morning when I felt like that I wanted to bring in some feeling of morning euphoria, which I call it, since I had it since I was a kid, as long as I can remember. When I wake up in the morning, I feel very euphoric for some reason, and at this period of time I was feeling quite low, and I wanted to like pretty much I wanted to do a song that could make me feel morning euphoria again. And one thing that I really associate with my childhood is the coffee brewer. In the morning when it like sort of is popping and it's making the coffee, sounds like this. So basically I'm just looping that sound. It doesn't really have anything too like crazy on it. It's more just, I think I'm filtering out some high frequencies. And then I have a grow speed on that doesn't actually do anything, but I think I maybe wanted to glitch it, but I didn't do it. But grow speed is great for all kinds of stuff, but I didn't use it on this sound for some reason. But so that sound is in the background the whole time pretty much, and just to have that underneath as a feeling sort of thing, and it gives a nice atmosphere. Then I have some noise from the coffee brewer. Which is also throughout the song pretty much. Let's see. We have a crash here. Noise. Nothing too crazy. And then we have this percussion fill. This is, I think this is, I'm not sure. Let me check actually. Yeah, this is the thing. I was in Norway hiking with my friend in the beautiful fjords, and I was at a coffee shop, and I asked the barista if I could record him, you know, doing his thing with the coffee machine and throwing out the coffee through from the espresso machine and stuff like that. Just all kinds of things, you know. So I had my microphone. I have an H5 Zoom microphone that is portable, and I recorded. I just put the record button on, and while he was doing his thing, and I was having my coffee and talking to my friend, and yeah, basically this is him banging out espresso and doing espresso and all kinds of stuff, and I just made this to a percussion fill. So with the drums it sounds like this. So it's just a cool feel, and it's cool that you can make sounds out of anything really, and give some personality to it. Then we have the drums. I feel like, as you can see, I named the drums to drums maybe. Maybe I was thinking that I would put in another sort of drum beat to it, but I ended up using this. I think this is a Contact, like some drum library, and I messed with it and compressed it and distorted it a bit, I think, and then bounced it into audio in another project. So I just ended up using this whole file as it is. I used some EQ, some virtual channel. This EQ doesn't really do anything. Some reverb. I have the FL's transient processor on here. It just gives us a little bit more of attack really, and a little bit more sustain. So it gave it a little bit more energy basically. And then here, virtual mix bus, just to give it a little bit more warmth. So here we have some, I think this is like a tomb. Yeah, so I get this is actually just like an add-on with the kick drum. So that's basically what it sounds like. You just add some energy and to the drums really. Nothing too fancy. Then we have the breaths here. And then the last one here. It's just basically like a recording I had with like a lot of breaths that I had since before, and I just liked it, and it just, I don't know, it was just intuitive, I guess, just to put it in. I didn't really think about it too much, but it became sort of like a signature for the song. And then it obviously comes in here as well. So I think it's pretty cool. Okay, what else? We have, here's also the violin, actually. Then we have a little bit of this. So this, yeah, like I said, this is also the violin. Let's see if I mute the effects here. I used a little bit of portamento here in the FL sampler. Put some attack, or I took off some attack in here as well. Did some pitch thing automation here, so it makes it a little bit wobbly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And with the effects it sounds like, or without the effects it sounds like this. And with the effects it sounds like this. It's pretty cool. Then we have some brass effects here. Nothing too crazy. I think it's just it's contact brass something. Then we can go here to the bass, this is actually one of my favorite presets ever. It's here. If you go on here in FL, you press right click and then go into bass and then deep 2. I don't know why I always use this preset, but I just love how it sounds. It's very like solid bass and it just sounds great. So yeah, let's listen to it. I used this just to make sure it was a mono. Some virtual channel, some EQ, a little bit more of EQ, took off some of the lower frequencies. Fruity balance for sidechain. And yeah. And next we have a wine glass sound, which I made myself. I just put water on the top of my finger and put my finger around the top of the wine glass to make this drone sound, which I think is really cool. I think Paul McCartney used it back in the day. I saw it in some video some years ago, and yeah, this is what it sounds like. Let's go here. Yeah, just EQ here, some reverb, fruity balance for sidechain, and yeah. Then we also have this glittery version of the wine glass sound that sounds like this. Yeah, and then also we have one more thing actually, the end of the song, which people have been asking me about how I did it, and it's basically I just recorded the whole, like the main section of the song into Edison, and basically chopped up the file. So here it is. So it sounds quite horrible when you listen to it like that, but I had a purpose of doing this, I guess. And then if I listen to it without the effect, it sounds like this. So it doesn't sound as horrible, but I put these effects on here. I had the transient processor, so I gave it a little bit more of attack, so it just sounded more aggressive when it came in with the chops. Gross beat with some like repetition here, and a beat gate, a little bit of decapitator distortion and crystallizer to give it some like echo, EQ, more EQ. I think the CQ I'm actually automating, and then the phase mistress also automation, and then the pan man also for the automation. So let's listen through it. And in the context of the song, it sounds like this. And some coffee brewing there in the end. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and shout out to FL Studio for just making my workflow so much better. And see you soon. Bye.